Neo Thinker here, trying to make sense of it all, trying to figure it all out. I wanted to talk about the state of men, or maybe the state of the anti man, as it were. The state of the beta male. You know the guys, the ones who, right now, there's a thing out there in which a lot of guys, when they get rejected, they form a kind of a hatred, a disdain for the opposite sex, the female sex. And just been thinking about, you know, these kinds of males, men who can't handle rejection. And so they either go to the far extreme of stalking a woman or criticizing them, or even worse, uh, developing an animus towards females because they can't take the fact that they have been rejected for whatever reason. And it just makes me think as to what has been going on in the development of this current digital society that we live in, and the current kind of society in which a lot of young men were brought up in the era in which everybody was given a trophy, everybody won, nobody lost. There was a thing in the schools to not make people feel bad because they weren't as good as someone else. But when you get out into the real world and you begin to face what's really out there, rejection is a part of it. And I've just been thinking about the kinds of guys who can't handle rejection. I mean, there's a lot of things out there on the internet, on YouTube and on various platforms. A lot of guys making themselves a name for themselves by bashing women simply because they are just not, let's be real, they're just not the kinds of men that women find attractive. They're not the kinds of men that women are attracted to. And, it's a real problem because now what we have is we have a whole class of young men who don't know how to handle a rejection. And so they have morphed into what I would call the anti-man. In other words, these are men who lack, the basics of chivalry, of honor, of nobility. And these are guys who just, because they've been rejected, they have turned into anti-men or beta males, as it were. And this is a real problem because these kinds of guys they're not suitable mates for grown women. So there's going to be a whole class of men out there in the society who've been rejected, who don't know how to handle rejection, don't know how to come back from it, who would rather slink into a hole, slither off and turn into some type of a creep, as opposed to developing themselves into a fully grown, functioning male who can handle rejection, get over it, and move on to somebody who might accept their advances. So this is a real problem. The Neo Thinker's been thinking about it. I've been watching a lot of different things on the internet, on YouTube, Facebook, as it were, Snapchat, and just a lot of you guys out there who, I don't know, you guys need to grow up. You need to be men because you're not suitable mates for females because you haven't passed the first test. Yeah, and that's the test of rejection. Yeah, this is a normal thing in the animal world. You have you know males of various species, where that's elephant seals or bears or big cats or deer or bighorn sheep. They compete for the female, but then sometimes the female doesn't even want that male. So he may be cast aside. She may not want to mate with him because she doesn't feel that he's strong enough. She may go for a stronger male that comes along. This is just part of the natural selection. And so whenever human beings are to the point in which the natural order of things and natural selection is not a part of the advancement of the species, well, the species begins to dwindle. This is why we see in our modern society the proliferation of a number of kind of alternative lifestyles that lead to the deviation, the dereliction, and the destruction of the species. Because these kinds of deviant relationships that are formed because, again, weak men who cannot handle rejection or for whatever reason have decided that they have some other type of ailment such as gender dysphoria or whatever the foolishness is, it leads to a society that is in total decline, destruction, dismantling, unraveling, as it were. And so we see this in a number of different manifestations of crime and other type of strange and wicked behaviors coming from men who have not developed, who are not fully functioning males in our society. So I just want to know if other people may be thinking the same things as I. It just seems that this new man that's on the scene is not really capable of taking on the responsibilities of full manhood. This is concerning because, there are a lot of females out there who just, they're left in the lurch because a lot of you guys are not capable of stepping up because somebody rejected you, in high school or college or in the dating world, and so you've been scorned as a man and you can't get over it. This is this is kind of something new in human history. It used to be that men enjoyed the pursuit of the opposite sex, but now you find that once a man has been turned away, his feelings get hurt and he becomes resentful. It's a true lack of manhood in every aspect, every manifestation that I can think of, that these guys are not able to kind of muster up and grow up and become fully grown adults, males as it were. So give me your thoughts below. If you like what the Neo Thinker has discussed here, please like and subscribe. Check out my other videos on the page. I will be continuing to post from here out, hopefully on a more regular basis. But the Neo Thinker, he stays awfully busy, doing what men do. I hope that this has somehow given some of you some thought. From inside the Empire, it's been Neo Thinker.